Hope everyone's keeping well. So this is going to be my initial review and first thoughts of the new Innovv H5 helmet camera that I got the other day. And I've been having a number of issues with it and with its software and with the general performance of the camera. But in fairness to Innovv support, they've been good, helpful. So when I got the camera the other day, turned it on, charged it up, turned it on, and had to browse through the manual before you start, as you do. And one of the comments, or one of the things that was highlighted in the manual, was that you must format your card FAT32. It's very hard to format large capacity cards FAT32. The default is exFAT, and most of your cards come as exFAT nowadays, for your SD cards and your micro SD and such. Now it does support cards up to 512 gig in size, which is a large capacity card, so that should keep you going 12-14 hours worth of video. So that'll do you a long time. It'll do you a lot longer than the battery will do you. So that was the first thing that got me. It's kind of, how do I format this card FAT32? I can't, no matter what I tried, I couldn't. So don't worry about that. Then, okay, so the camera itself, I've done an unboxing video, and the camera itself, not a bad shape, not light, but then again it's a large capacity battery. So according to their documentation, the battery should last you up to 5 hours. Now I did a test with the defaults, which is 4K 30 frames a second, and it did me 4 hours, just under 4 hours. So I assume dropping resolution and so on and so forth, turning off functions and features, will get you 5 hours, maybe a little bit more, who knows. So I decided I wanted 60 frames a second. So for that, you have to drop it from 4K to 2.7K. Now my problem is, I use a Mac, and for whatever reason, the Mac won't read the videos that are 2.7K 60 frames a second. It'll read all the other frame rates and sizes that this camera produces, but not the one I wanted to shoot in. So today I'm doing 1080 60 frames. See how that goes. So I went out yesterday, recorded a few hours worth of video, and it was useless to me on the Mac. Now I've been told it'll play back on Windows just fine and on Linux just fine. It plays back on the phone just fine. But I don't edit on any of those platforms. I edit on a Mac. And it's just me. So I don't know what it is that won't allow it to be done on a Mac, and it's confusing me, and yeah, I don't know. So I have opened a query with them to see what they say about that. Actually, go this way. So we'll see what they say about that. So what else? So I found the camera a bit plasticky. The connectors and connections between different modules and that are all a bit plasticky. So longevity, I don't know, we shall see over time, see what happens. It does stick out from the helmet a good bit. And there are a number of, it uses the standard GoPro type connectors, so I have loads of GoPro accessories and connectors and bits and pieces, so I was able to reuse some of those to get it closer to the helmet than the bits that come with it. So I'm a little bit happier, but it is still sticking out at the side of your helmet. And it does catch the wind a little at speed. I was doing some motorway speeds yesterday, and so 120 kilometers an hour, give or take. And you could feel it. So I don't know, maybe it's just me. Or maybe I was just more conscious of it and therefore could feel it. I don't know, psychosomatic. So yeah, it comes with a battery and it comes with an external charger. It doesn't come with a mic. And yet some of the documentation talks about using a mic. The mic part is extra. And the mic part comes as part of the external battery connector, which you get an external battery connector with the camera. So that's kind of like, yeah, why would you buy an extra one when you're just, I don't know, it's a bit confusing to me. In my opinion, they should have just thrown it into their box in the first place and be done with it. So we shall see. So, what else is there? It takes, yeah, it's. I like the functions. I like the features that it has as a feature set. When you look at the specs of the camera and what it contains and what it's supposed to do. So. We shall see how it goes in actual usage. I think it'll be a good camera. You know, the battery life, the fact that you can connect an external battery, quality functionality of the video, we shall see. You know, there's a lot going for it on the spec sheet. So it uses a Sony sensor, which should be good quality video. Software should be good. They had to redeploy. When I got it first, I installed the Innovv H5 app, which controls the camera to set the functions and features. But the app wasn't able to change any of the configurations. It just wasn't changing anything. So it was kind of like, yeah, lads, this is a serious problem. How that app got released without proper beta testing, I don't know. But, you know, I raised a load of issues, and within 2 days they released a new app. And the new app, hopefully by now, is on the Google Store and the Apple Store for download. The one I downloaded was directly from their site. So it's working now. I can change the settings and change the functionality of the camera. What else is it? It's a big enough camera. Now mostly that's the battery, the size of the battery on the back of it. And you can mount it any which way you want, left side, right side, on top, on the handlebars. You can invert the camera, you can invert the picture from the camera through the app. So I assume you'd need to do that if you mounted the camera on the left side of your helmet. So there's lots of bits and pieces to it in that respect. What else have we got about it? So obviously with the no audio side, I'm using my other camera to record the audio. So I know my audio is going to be okay. So I'm going to have to stitch this together in post, sticking the audio from one camera with the video from the other camera. Ooh, fun and games. Yeah, let's follow this car and see where we're going. Sometimes I just get out on the bike and I don't exactly plan my route. I just take a turn and follow the road. Follow the yellow brick road. So yeah, the app, you have to get used to it. So every time you go into the app, you have to connect to the camera, the Wi-Fi on the camera, which turns on as soon as you turn on the camera, but it turns off after a few minutes. The few minutes is configurable. So 1, 2, 5, I think the options, I don't know. So you can check out the app and the configurations in the app. Yeah, we'll see what the video quality is like out of this. I've seen a 4K 30 frames a second out of it, and it looks quite good. So I'm doing 1080, 60 frames a second. Image stabilization is turned on. So we see how this looks. I'm sure it's going to be good. So I have a big spin later in the year in September, and I will use it for that to see how that goes. So what else is there of note or of concern? Yeah, the packaging is quite nice. The camera is relatively slim, but it's long. I'll try and stick in a few photos of how it is attached to my helmet at the moment. It is supposedly weather sealed, so it should last an Irish summer, plenty of rain. Haven't been out in the rain yet. It's actually been fairly dry lately, just overcast. Yeah, so this is the video of the new Innovv H5. So if you look on their website and then go to the forum, you'll see people discussing their little issues and whatever else. So far the issues, once they got the new app out, the issues seem to be relatively minor. So I think it's just a matter of getting some footage going, people getting them out there, and we see what they're like. So I hope everyone's keeping well. These are my very initial thoughts on the Innovv H5 helmet camera. Take it easy, folks. Talk to you soon.